Hello, everyone. Sid Notter here. Today, I'd like to talk about the aluminum in our foods and other ways that we get aluminum into our bodies. It's an important topic, and I think we all need to be more aware of this. In the world of Alzheimer's research, aluminum is the most hotly debated metal. As a result of research performed back in the 1970s, aluminum became a suspect in the Alzheimer's epidemic. But to this day, there is still debate on both sides of the issue whether or not aluminum is a problem. Many authorities feel that small amounts of aluminum do very little harm and that our kidneys ought to be able to eliminate any incidental traces that we might ingest in our water or other day to day exposures. But other authorities feel that the evidence is way too strong to ignore. And in 2011, a comment was published in the International Journal of Alzheimer's Disease that there is growing evidence for the link between aluminum and Alzheimer's disease, and that link has even grown stronger many years later. They also cite that it's widely accepted that aluminum is a recognized neurotoxin which could cause cognitive deficiency and dementia in the brain, and it can have various side effects on our central nervous system. So, what are we to do? Well, our nutritional requirement for aluminum is zero. There's no need to risk our brain health because we do not need aluminum in our system at all. Aluminum has no role in our brain function, nor does it play a part in any other aspect of our human biology. We cannot avoid it all, unfortunately, but choosing aluminum free products will help us steer clear of major exposures. So there are large amounts of aluminum found in many foods. Well, how can that be? You might wonder, right? If it's that detrimental to our health. That's because the US FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, considers certain aluminum containing food additives to be GRAS, generally recognized as safe. So food manufacturers are free to use them. Aluminum compounds, they serve as emulsifying agents in cheese, especially on frozen pizza. So it's also common in baking powders and products that are prepared with baking powder. It's also in aluminum foil, of course, aluminum, and it's in our cookware, aluminum pots, especially if you're making spaghetti sauce in an aluminum pot, which will pick up a substantial amount of aluminum. It's also in soda cans, aluminum cans that can leach aluminum into the products they hold, especially the longer the product sits in the can. So, in addition to aluminum additives being included in pizza cheese and crust, baking powders, and soda cans, other sources of aluminum in our food can include things like creamers, um, baking powder, which we've mentioned a couple times, pancake mixes, microwave popcorn, tortillas, pickle relish, muffins, donuts, cakes. Again, anything that uses baking powder or self rising flour or salt. Restaurant biscuits, breadsticks, soft tacos. Other products that contain aluminum are things that go right on our skin, like lotions, shampoos, cosmetics, lip balm, and soaps. So, as you can see, there are a lot of ways that we can get aluminum into our bodies. So, how to lessen our risk would be to read your labels. First and foremost, aluminum can be listed in several ways on a label, but if you see the word aluminum in any of the additives or even ALUM, ALUM is also aluminum, then avoid that product. Choose aluminum-free baking powders, which are widely available in many stores. Unfortunately, if you go to a restaurant, they're not likely to tell you what sort of baking powder they use. And their pancakes, can contain substantial aluminum traces without us even knowing it. So skip the single serve creamers too. Powdered creamers are terrible. So if you see a powdered creamer sitting on a counter somewhere, look at that ingredient list. Chances are really high you're going to see aluminum in there. Also, salt packets at restaurants. They often contain sodium alumosilicate, which is an anti-caking agent. Don't allow aluminum foil to come in contact with your food while you're baking, especially. If you are going to use foil, make sure you put some parchment paper between the food and the foil to act as a buffer. If you choose antacids, choose aluminum-free varieties. Maalox was a big one. I don't think Maalox is being made anymore. They've replaced that now, but Maalox stood for Ma. The Ma was magnesium. The Al was aluminum hydroxide. So that's where they got the MaAlOx. And it contained 1,000 times more aluminum than a day's worth of food. So aluminum is also found in Mylanta and Gaviscon and other things over the counter. Over the counter meds use aluminum sometimes as a coloring agent. And again, read your labels. Also on common antiperspirants, which contain aluminum, which passes through the skin and goes directly into our bloodstream. Choose deodorants and antiperspirants which do not contain ALUM or any aluminum compound. Also consider a water filtering unit, which can effectively remove aluminum from tap water. Overall, we want to consume a whole food plant-based diet and decrease our risk of aluminum from packaged processed foods. So while heavily processed foods should always be off the table, there are times when we are going to still be purchasing baking powders, flours, and other ingredients which could contain aluminum. And of course, we want to avoid aluminum cans and beware of cookware that's made of aluminum. Beware of packaged vegan junk food too, like certain cookies and crackers. Those also could contain aluminum. The water filter that we just talked about would be a recommended idea as well. And then again, choose ceramic coated or stainless steel cookware, not cast iron. There's issues around that as well, but that's for a different topic. Again, use parchment paper between your food and your foil, especially if you're heating it up. And check the label on all your toiletries too, things that can come in contact with your skin. So here's my website. I'd love to stay in touch with you. I just recently developed a course called Label Reading Tips to Make Smart Choices, and aluminum is one of the examples in there where I show a bunch of products that contain aluminum. But it's a very comprehensive label reading course that talks about all sorts of things: sugar, oil, salts, um, preservatives, additives. If you go to my website, sidnotter.com, and go to the courses tab, you'll see the label reading class there. And if you use the coupon code LABEL, label, the coupon code label, you'll get 50% off that class through December of 2025. Also on the website, there's a free webinar, 3 food mistakes which lead to painful joints, extra weight, and health problems the doctors are not solving. You could check that out. It's free. There's a free PDF with 10 simple dessert smoothies if you're looking for some recipes, a free 21-day meal plan as well. My book is available there, The Plan A Diet, combining whole food plant-based nutrition with the timeless wisdom of Scripture. You can get that book for free shipping on my website, signed copies, or you can get it on Amazon. And you could also subscribe to our weekly newsletter if you're so interested. So thank you so much for watching this little video, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.